Welcome back, children. So today we will do spinal cord. Now the spinal cord arises at the medulla oblongata and moves down through the vertebral column. Now the vertebral column actually protects the spinal cord. The spinal cord also has meninges. As we have seen, the brain is covered by meninges. Similarly, the spinal cord is also covered by meninges. Now, the spinal cord is the second part of the central nervous system. If you go through a cross section of the spinal cord, you will find that at the center is a canal called as the central canal. This central canal is filled with CSF, that is cerebrospinal fluid. Surrounding the central canal, you will find lot of cytons and constitutes the grey matter. Whereas at the periphery, the axons prevail, and that consists of the white matter. Now from the two sides of the spinal cord arises two roots. One is called as the dorsal root, another is called as the ventral root. Now through the dorsal root, a sensory nerve is present which brings sensations from the sensory organs or receptors. The stimulus is brought. And then through the ventral root, which consists of a motor nerve, a certain response is carried up to the effector organs, muscles or glands. And then a certain reaction of the body is seen. For example, the body may be subjected to sudden changes in the environment which requires immediate action. For example, if you touch a hot plate, you immediately withdraw your hand. Now here, the perception of something hot touching your hand, that is the stimulus, and the immediate action withdrawing the hand away, must be very, very quick. If this message of sensing hotness is carried to the brain, and then the brain interprets, and then the brain sends a message to the effector organ that you must withdraw your hand, so much time will be taken that by that time the message is received by the effector organ, your hand will be burned. So to decrease the time of receiving the stimulus and sending the response, this spinal cord comes into play, and such type of automatic responses, involuntary automatic responses, are examples of reflex action. So the spinal cord is the center for all reflex actions. You must have observed that if something moves towards your eye, or your hand is moved in front of your eye, your eyes close, this is also a reflex action. While walking barefoot, if some tiny gravel pricks, you immediately withdraw your foot. These are all reflex actions, and the center is the spinal cord. So reflex actions are involuntary actions in response to a stimulus which is done very, very fast. Different types of reflex actions are there. Blinking of your eye, hiccuping, sneezing, shivering, yawning. All these are examples of reflex actions. Means your body does not know how the brain is responding. Actually, the brain is not responding at all. Reflex action is totally guided by the spinal cord. Remember one thing. That is why the response is so fast. Yes. Supposing when a needle pierces your skin, all of a sudden, you again withdraw your hand. But if you know that the doctor is about to give you an injection, so then the brain, the spinal cord sends this message to the brain that the doctor will prick your skin with a needle, and through the syringe he will push some medicine to you. So the brain prepares the effector organ, sends the message that you will have to bear the pain and you should not withdraw your hand. At that time, the brain comes into play. So whenever there is a thinking process required, at that time, the brain will respond and the effector organ will also respond simultaneously. But in the absence of this conscious application of the brain, if something happens suddenly, then immediately the response is sent and you are able to remove your hand. So this difference should be understood properly. If immediate action is done by your body, means immediate response is made by the body to some stimulus, then you must understand it is due to reflex action, and that is fully guided by the spinal cord. So for this reflex action that occurs, one very important diagram is there of reflex arc. Actually, the main thing is done by reflex arc, which I will give you in the next class. This diagram is very important, so all of you must draw it in your copy. Thank you.